Now, ING Bank is one of the largest banks in the world. They operate in 40 countries. They have 40,000 employees around the world. And they've made the switch to Agile, not despite their size, but because of it. Because it's the only way to be relevant and move quickly when you operate with such complexity as a global bank does. And I'm not even talking about the IT department of ING. I'm talking about the entire company. In fact, this is a document we pulled from their website. It's their strategy document for 2016. And if you notice this top one here, we need to be agile with short reporting lines and with the right people empowered to make important decisions quickly. Right? That applies to everyone at ING, not just their technology team. These are extremely lucid instructions from the top down, telling the whole organization how they're going to compete in this new era of software. Now, a funny thing happened. They recognized the need for a new call center. Why? They had 17 separate legacy call center systems. All different vendors put in at different times by different teams. It was a mess. And so they needed to consolidate these 17 disparate legacy systems into one that they could have an easier time maintaining. And so they were looking at a variety of ways of how they're going to consolidate all these systems down to one. But a funny thing happens. Once you decide as an organization that you value agility, that you want to move fast, you want to empower teams, let them provision their own solutions, and let them move as quickly as agility requires, there's only one way to build that. And that's to use building blocks. And so we're excited to announce that they are powering this next generation call center using Twilio. And that their teams of software developers are using the building blocks of Twilio to assemble various solutions for the business units in over 40 countries who need various solutions to the various problems that they're building. And it's everything from chat to voice to video. They're using TaskRouter to do routing. And so a wide variety of these building blocks put together in different ways are allowing them to address the needs of all the parts of the organization. So to learn more about ING Bank's journey to Agile, please welcome up Henk Kolk, who's the chief architect of ING Bank. Come on up, Henk. Welcome. Let's grab these chairs here. So Henk, start us off. So when did ING Bank begin this journey to Agile?
I think 6 years ago, when a new management team of the IT organization really recognized IT is the bank, and the bank is IT. So that was their mantra way back then.
This idea that every company is becoming a software company was understood.
It was fully understood. And it was better understood when the Silicon Valley messages came in that software is eating the world, and was even better understood when Uber demonstrated it, right? And today we live in a world where billions of dollars are being poured into startups, meaning to disrupt the financial industry. We live in a world where established technology players pose a real threat, both from the United States, or from London, and also from China. So we better speed up. And the only way to speed up in a world of software is empowering the builders, like you said so well. Yeah? So what we did is we reorganized the organization to 450 agile teams, including, since last year, the business folks, so they can take the decisions about software themselves.
Wow, 450 agile teams are how ING Bank now executes.
Yeah.
And what was it before? How did it work?
Well, 6 years ago, we had this fantastic integration of Prince2, which is a program management methodology with rational unified process. And, well, what it all boiled down to is that we had 64 mandatory documents that needed to be delivered before somebody could start to code.
Whoa.
Yeah?
It sounds like anything but rational, really.
It was not rational, and that was not rational's fault. And some folks wanted to integrate CMMI also into that framework, and that's where we stopped. We said, this is crazy. So because it was so bad, there was a real power also to change it quickly. Yeah.
So where did the impetus for change come from? Like, who got the ball rolling on this? Was it immediately top down, or were there people inside the organization that started it from the bottom up?
It was a mix. So there was this new management team with a real desire for speed and delivery. And there were two people from the work floor, really, Danny Wijnands, and she will bash me for not remembering her name, Evelijn van Leeuwen. And together they went to visit the CIO, Ron van Kemenade, and they said, hey, if you're not changing, if you don't allow us to become agile, then we're leaving. And they made a compelling case, and this guy just gave them all the top-down support that they needed to make that change. First small, and then everybody got into it, and it was a wildfire going through the organization.
Huh. How many of you work at a company that you wish operated a little more agilely? Yeah? So clap a little bit so we can hear. All right, so what advice, Henk, would you give to folks who work in a company where you want to influence the company to think more agile, to ship more quickly? What advice would you give to somebody?
Oh, I have a short version, which is to come to my little talk at 4:35, where I will tell you in 30 minutes,
That's
basically...
a pointer.
It's a pointer, yeah, but I will tell you basically the story that you can take away to your management and help make the change if you want to. The short version is we really had to change 4 basic things. So first is agile, end-to-end. Secondly, recognize engineering talent and really change our HR strategy, did we say that correctly? For liberating the engineering talent that we have. Continuous delivery all of the way, and also a engineering culture. And when the last thing, I mean just what you said here. Giving people the safe place to create, to build, to learn, and then demonstrate really the software that they think that we need.
Now that all sounds well and good, Henk, but you're a bank, right? I've heard you've got regulators, they care a little bit about what you do. There's people's money involved. They care about that. So how do you, it sounds good, but there must have been people inside the organization that were like, whoa, slow down. We can't do this, egghead. We've got people's money here. How can we do continuous delivery, right? How did you get around those kinds of objections?
Very slowly. So first, you need to call out that there are convictions in the organization and with people that do not help. So you have to bring out these convictions to the full daylight to talk about it, right? Some people think that a bank is in control if you follow process steps, instead of focusing on the desired outcomes and create a feedback loop on that, which would be the agile way of doing that, right? There are principles today to be more in control of software by using immutable servers, right? Then you don't need these big security matrices, and even for connections, you can do a lot on the version control. So really knowing how to do software.
So taking things that used to be processes and paper and actually putting them into code and into APIs.
Yeah, but there's a pitfall here, and we fully fell into it, if you don't mind. So the pitfall is...
I love hearing about pitfalls of regulated companies.
Yeah, the pitfall is that you automate your existing processes.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've been there for 10 years or 15 years or 30 years even, right? From the time of the mainframes, and you really need to redesign it first, because then you can create such an elegant control framework for your bank that is really empowered by continuous delivery. And that will help you get to the next level.
And a control framework means code implementing these policies.
Yeah, but it's also something that a regulator or an auditor recognizes, right? So they speak a different language. They speak the language of policies and control frameworks, control objectives and controls. And well, the thing is that the builders really create a little bit of empathy for the risk and the security people, and for the auditors to help them understand how we can do those things differently too.
So in a world of agile, where you empower developers to move quickly and make decisions, how does this affect how you pick partners and how you pick vendors and technologies? Are they empowered to pick these new tools?
Yeah, they are empowered to come up with the ideas, right? But here's two things. There's always a trade-off, as you know. Every new database or every new technology, as a bank, if we put that into our production systems, we have to understand it really well. And we need to have this supporting capability 24/7, every day in the year. So that's an investment that we have to make for each and every new technology. So simplifying stuff, getting rid of many technologies is basically what we do to make our life a lot simpler. However, we really love speed. And engineers that can show us and can demonstrate that they can go much faster and deliver this speed that our customers really need, yeah, come on. They can demonstrate it.
So that gets that, you said retiring code and retiring old systems helps you move quickly. So if you can, just tell us quickly, what is it you're looking to accomplish with the Call Center 2.0 initiative?
What we're trying to accomplish is much more than just the Call Center 2.0 initiative or communications, right? So we're building this bank as an API platform for the globe. And this is where it's a layer that the Call Center 2.0 initiative will use and will enrich. Does that make sense, or is this too abstract?
And then how does that benefit all the business units out there in the world? 40 countries who are relying on this initiative.
They can just take the building blocks or APIs or the resources, as we call them, that they need and integrate them into their front ends.
Because they too are agile in operating that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. I mean, this is an immensely difficult thing to take an organization operating around the world in a regulated industry and move it from monolithic to a completely agile-minded organization. Congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for Henk and ING Bank. Congratulations. Thank you.